Good morning, folks. Good morning. Yes, it's this is Spirit Journey, and I'm just getting up now. Today is the 5th, March 5, 2020, and you can see the time. It's 6:19 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, the sun's just about coming up. You can see the daylight through my curtains. I'm in bed. So excuse me for how my voice is a little hoarse. Yeah, I'm just opening up my eyes, and I want to discuss while the day is still early about my experiences at the gym. My last video, I explained that um, the format is going to be a little different. Um, I've been having neck problems, and so I want to be able to just put up videos without the editing and just take the video and upload it to YouTube. So this will spare any further discomfort to my neck. Um, yeah, so I did also discuss in the last video um, some new interests that I'm doing, and I want to share about that. So this is also serving like a diary of what I'm doing. I did discuss that I joined a health club, a gym, and I think yesterday was my third time there. Yeah, I had, let's see, I already had um, t- like my first session, my first day there, um, after signing up. The day I signed up, I didn't actually work there, so it was actually the day after. I had a session with like a trainer, and I think it was like a complimentary one. It's for half an hour. And just get my feet wet, and he showed me different like two exercises to warm up. One was with this heavy rope that it's really thick and heavy, and it's lying on the ground, and you just hold the handles and you make it go up and down. And then he had me full, um, like have my legs a little open, and then pick up this heavy, condensed ball, to squat down, to pick it up, and then stand up, and then have the ball go over your head, and then throw it down with all your might on the floor. Let me do that. That was actually very interesting. And yes, those exercises does um, give you, it's designed as a warm up. He seemed very pleasant, this individual, this trainer. He's new in the bunch, as a PT person, physical trainer. And yeah, it was a very positive experience. And it was for half an hour. And then I think I left right after. Let's see what else. And then I had my second PT person. It was a different fellow, an older fellow, and different personality. It was kind of rough, you know. Um, he's only a year and a half younger than me. He said. He's been doing this for 40 years. And I've seen him before. See, outside the gym, they have people like who hand out coupons, and I've seen him before. And I just say hello when I'm walking past, because sometimes these guys can be very aggressive. They have another fellow too that does the same thing, but they usually have the other guy this other guy that I saw, and yeah, very kind of rough around the edges, also almost pushy. But I don't want them to be offended because I'm not giving cool. So I may at least walk past, just say, hey, how you doing? Let them know I'm that I recognize him, and I'm in the area. I live in the area. I might be walking my dogs, so I give them that respect, and it usually works, and they kind of mellow out. And actually, the day that I registered was, I think it was the day I registered, or the day after. The One of the, I call the barkers, people who hand out the coupons for you to come inside. He saw me. He was so excited to see me, and he actually gave me a hug. Yeah, that's the one that I knew of longer than the other barker. So it was all feeling good, actually. And then let's see what else. So that was the second PT person, the older guy. Um, I think yesterday. Oh, I want to back up just a little bit. Yeah, it was the day after I signed. So that was with the first PT person, and we're sitting on the person who signed me up. Um, I'm sitting on the floor, and he says, "Hey, um, if you want um, to sign up with uh, we have different things that you could possibly do." He was giving me new options because see, I had yes, the day before I had officially signed up for the gym, and every month they would be deducting from my bank account, the monthly fee. And he says, we have the PT people, and you may want to incorporate this. So in short, with that, he seemed really nice, really really personable, very tall, big fellow, and I got this is fun, and I'm documented this more like, again, a diary and my thinking process, what's going on for this new journey of mine at the gym. And again, with gyms, it's mostly men, and I guess sometimes you could feel a little vulnerable as a woman. So we're sitting down on the floor, and he sits very close to me, and real chummy, and I'm really, I guess, trying to figure him out as a person, where he's coming from, because he's very animated, okay, um, but pleasant, very pleasant. So as we're talking, he puts his hand on my between my knee and on the side of my thigh, and I was a little, you know, I didn't say anything. And he has it there for like maybe 5 seconds, and then he removes his hand. Now, in general, I'm very conservative, and um, when I got home, I didn't say anything to him. I thought, oh, I don't want to be some rude. He's really, he seems like a real pleasant guy, and some people are more could be talkative with their hands, whatever, and he was just feeling comfortable with me. Um, and I did decide to get the PT person. The PT person, like how it works there, like you can have just a regular gym membership, you know, um, or if you decide you want to get a trainer, you'll still be a member of the gym, and you just purchase the price for the PT person, and so you're still just paying one price. So you can have full access to the gym, all day, 7 days a week, all day, like a regular membership, but you're under a contract. I applied for the 6-month contract for a PT person, but it'll be shared. It'll be twice a week, half an hour session. And I figure, hey, it's costing about the same price, and it'll give me some direction, whatever. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. So, but yeah, so he was trying to explain this new agreement that I could sign up with, and so I was a little, because I'm really shy at heart, and him putting his hand um, on my leg like that, so it's part of the knee and part of the thigh, um, and I'm like, I'm old school, folks. But when I got home, I watched this something on YouTube, like, oh, it was on the Harvey Weinstein, and it started to trigger, like some of you know that about the Harvey Weinstein case. He lost, he got convicted, so he will be doing prison time. But it's something. It started triggering me, and started to trigger what had happened earlier. And some of you have known, I have discussed in my past videos that growing up I was uh, molested by some family members. And so I think, you don't really know where someone's attention is. Where, like, sometimes some people could come across one way to win your trust, and then do something, and then try to see how far they can go with an initial meeting. And so it really upset me that whole day, when I got home. And I I thought, I'm going to address the matter. But when I came in the next day, it was his day off. And I said, just leave it. I said, maybe it wasn't meant for me to say anything. Yeah, I think it comes in this weekend. So I have a session, and it went very well. Yeah, I think this was the, I think I had a session with the PT person, the older person. And, he's a little rough around the edges, and sometimes they don't listen. They you as a PT person, you have to listen when hear the client out. What are they telling you? Sometimes they just kind of in their own zone, but not listen to you. You have to, you PT people, you really have to start listening to your clients. Okay, and the client has to also speak up too and say, hey, look, you're not listening. I have to tell you something. But either way, the workout went okay. It was okay, and I'm thinking between the two at the time, PT people, the younger fellow that I saw first, and then the older fellow, PT person, who would I prefer? So I was thinking in the back of my mind that maybe the younger one might be, because he was very he seemed very understanding, and not that same intensity of his personality. So well yesterday when I came in, this might be like day 3 of my exercising. I actually came in. I tried to come in a little earlier than well. See, I was supposed to, while I was there before, I saw the that I, who I call the barker, the original barker that I saw that on the street, who hands out the coupons to come, join up the club, join at the club. Um, when he saw me inside the club, he was really excited to see me, and he says, "Oh, you gotta, hey, you gotta, I teach boxing, and you should come, have a session with me. I'll give you the first session for free. You see how you like, But he's like nonstop, nonstop, and I really don't want to do this. He said, I think like I didn't want to commit to it. Oh, I remember. He said, "Hey, come around." Yeah, because maybe it was like the next day. Yeah. I saw the initial time, and he gave me a hug, and then I think I had to come again, for the second session, and that's where he saw me again. He said, "Hey, come around. Let me show you what I do." So he's with the client, an older man, and he's teaching him, some boxing moves, and his client had the little gloves on, and he wanted me to try. Hey, real pushy like. Now I didn't have any of those gloves, those boxing gloves, and he wants me to hit the glove. It hurt my hand, my thumb. I said, "Ow, my thumb." I says, "Oh, okay, okay." Then he cuts it short. But he says, "Hey, you come tomorrow. Hey, just come by." And he's really, 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 really pushing on it. And he says, "Yeah, you could come tomorrow. Yeah, come at 12:30." First it says 12. They said, "No, make it 12:30. 12:30." I don't want to come here, but I didn't want to be rude. You know. So I came the next day, but I came a little early before 12:30 because see I wanted to see him and tell him, say, "Look, thank you for your offer, but it's gonna pull me off my path because something like that." And as I'm walking towards the gym, he's out there handing out the coupons. He sees me. He's, "Oh wow, you're all dressed and everything for the gym, you know." And he comes in with me. He's all like excited, whatever. And I'm trying to tell him that I won't be doing the 12:30 class. That thank you for your offer for the free session, but you know, um, we get down the stairs. I'm still trying to talk to him, but he's all ramble mouth. And then I see the PT instructor at the desk, the younger fellow. And there's a dialogue that happens between that PT person and that barker, as I call it. And, "Oh, you're taking my client," something. One of them, it was getting stupid, very competitive. And the younger PT person is trying to talk to me. And then I'm trying to talk to the person who I came there for to tell him that I'm not going to use the classes. Yeah, it was really hairy. It was just really distracting. That so he's I I was like telling the signing in. They give you this card to sign. To clock in. And I think he sees my drink. I said, "Yeah, I just got it. Sorry. Was that? No, I wasn't late. Yeah, it was. Oh, the guy at the desk, my PT person thought that I came in because I had a session with him or something. I said, "No, I'm just coming in my off day just to exercise." And then he sees the drink, and then I said, "Yeah, I just got the drink. Yeah, I'm more prepared today. I brought my bottled water, my protein, pre-workout protein drink." And then the other guy, the barker, is there, and he's saying, trying to say, "Hey, hurry up," because he wants me to do a session with them. So this is all happening as I'm trying to clock in, and um, just a small talk with the PT person who's working the desk, the front desk. So I'm trying to turn to talk to the bar girl to let her say, I said, look, I have to talk to you. So he finally kind of quiets and long enough for me to tell him. But it was so like, oh, so you're not going to do the thing? Oh, okay. Well, tell me when you want to do it later on, something like that. And then he walks away. But everything was very abrupt. So I go back to to the attendant at the front desk who was going to be, who was one of my um, physical trainers. To finish up the brief conversation about the drink, he says, "Oh, you need any help with anything? Um, the drinks, you have to be careful." So it was like a lesson about some of the sports drinks out there. You have to be careful. So it seemed like a resource of information. And he's like 30 years old. And I figured, okay, I sort of like his style about, because see, at this time now for my um, entry into doing, lifting weights, I'm looking for information for how to get to where I want to get to. So I think like knowledge is very useful in this part of the game. So I feel comfortable enough. So I go in the locker room, put my stuff up, then I came back to the front desk to drink my pre-workout drink. And he's wondering if I wanted anything, I said, no, I'm just sitting here to, drinking my protein drink before I work out. And then he's really outgoing and chummy and a lot of information about the sport drink, the warnings. Hey, you should bring it in, the container, or, get the name of the product, and I'll tell you if it's okay. Someone you got to really be careful. So I said, okay, thanks, yeah. And then also say, hey, if you ever need any help, I mean, very, 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 uh, um, very much in tune to me, and any help, just feel free to come to him. So I think, so I go to do my workout, and then I was using the machines. Like I went to the machines that he originally had me use with his session. And after I did that, I wanted to like work on my muscle in the back of my arms. So I walk over to him, and this is something where things change. So I walk over to the desk because he's working the desks that moment. I says, "Hey, what um, what machine can I use for the back of my arm? I want to work on the back of my arms now." Oh well, I remember him saying he was at the sink. There's a sink also, and you can make they make drinks also, sports drinks there, also things with the protein, things like that, and peanut butter drinks. And he was just rinsing out the blender. He said, "Oh, I'm middle of doing something right, something like I'm doing something right now. After I'm done, I'll help you." I said, "Okay, sure, no problem. I'm not in any rush. Take your time." But I can see he's flustered, even though I said that. Then he comes up. Then he says something like, I mean, I can't remember his exact wording, but he's trying to make it sound innocent. What he's saying, like, I have to read in between the lines because see, with the contract agreement that I have, I can use the facility 7 days a week, all day, and I'm paying for actually two semi-private PT instructions. But that day was not one of those days that I went to yesterday. So he's saying, well, is it, so in short, what he's saying that, well, today's not our day for semi-private PT instruction, you know, and, so, don't come over here. It's not, it's that'd be extra, something to that effect. Like, don't, don't, don't ask me because then you're getting into you want a semi-private, a third one, and basically to go away. And on top of that, oh, why don't, oh, there's a class going, a class for, like a group class, and they have another PT person, which was the older guy, and it's for a half an hour session. He said, hey, why don't you take one of those classes? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I was real flustered. So I'm thinking, would I be able to go to that guy and just find out what machine? Well, I was angry. Then I said to myself, oh, because I was just so frustrated. And I don't think I should have done that. But it did work out. I do go. And he said, oh, can take the ball. And he's very strong in his personality. He had me to take this ball and throw it against the wall. He says, after you do that, do like 20 20 of them, and I'll come back. So he just come back. Then I said, I was actually working on my arms, and I just wanted to get a machine that works on the back of the arm. Oh yeah, great, yeah, sure. So he had me go on the treadmill for a little bit, just he said to whatever, and then he finally brought me to the machine that I needed to use for the arms. So I worked it out. So I used the half an hour session with the group, and I said, this is what I was actually working on. Because see, he saw me when I came in and working out, so he realized, oh yeah, she was working by herself, and you know, so yeah, okay, yeah. So she was working on her arms. Yeah, okay. I'll gear you to that. And then I said, okay, I'm finished with the arms now. Something with the stomach. It's something like that. So that's how I went. So it was a win-win, but my anger, it I was extremely angry, and I'll explain my anger. I mean, and it kept on, and I have to work to overcome this. Um, the younger PT person was, now he was just, when I walked in to the club, he's all talky, and he wants to share his knowledge, and is interrupting me with the other trainer who wanted to teach me boxing. And then when I'm, change and everything, and then come back to the desk, because the front desk has an area where you can sit and talk to people, like a lounge, and you could drink your stuff and everything. It's like a cool down area. You just chill out, whatever. And they have the front desk and the cashier there, because they make products. So he's all like chummy. Oh, if you need help, and that I thought his response to me was so rude. He just told me 15 minutes prior, hey, come to me if you need any help with anything. And he is one of the two PT instructors, and the person that actually signed me up let him know that he is new and he's to help you. And it's like sometimes people could like the guy that wrote me up, he's been working there for maybe, I think he said 11 years. And he was very protective in nature over me and like talking to him, but indirectly that he better be there to help you if you need any help. Since, you're new, that I was new, and that him being relatively new at the facility, almost like he has to prove himself that, you know, that he better do his part. And almost like he's on probation type of thing, Hey, you better be here to work and help the new clients that come in. So here, that person's not there that day, the person who signed me up. And I felt, I mean, there was a manager there. I met the other manager of this store there, and we had spoke the day before, and it was very pleasant. Everything was running pretty smooth. But when that guy, in essence, is saying, don't bug me, this is not one of our personal sessions, so don't ask me. But yet, 15 minutes prior. So he had, like, he wanted to come across like he's here to help. He wants to be everybody's friend and help. And he got all this, like a library of information that he wants to tell people and tell people unsolicited by the other person. So everything is about, made me feel like it was about himself and that was a front. And to tell a new client, don't bug me, this is not one of our sessions. And the only thing I asked was, I need a machine to work on the back of my arms. Oh, where is it? Because, see, I never had an orientation of the machines, no orientation how to use it and what the machines, work on what part of the body. I didn't have any of that. So I'm angry. I was so angry at him because what he reminded me of, years and years ago, I met this person, and some of you may not have known. Many years ago, I had to go to a homeless shelter because of a domestic violence. This was maybe 18 years ago. Yeah, over 18 years ago. And I needed to, and I was new coming back to New York. I used to live out of state, and then I came back to New York City to live where I'm from. And something bad happened to me, and I was forced to leave where I was staying and moved into a shelter. This was a long-term shelter place. And they have so-called counselors. You have these counselors who, they're there to, like, it was a small shelter, just had maybe a total of 8 women. And these so-called counselors go over, because you have to get a job when you're there. You have to find work. You're not able to stay there during the day. So you have to be doing something. So you have to leave the premises at a certain time and then come back. So this one person there, all chummy, she, boy, not going to say what she was, but again, I did not come over to her. It was a group of us that were there. Yeah, it was a session, and she was the facilitator. Oh, if you need any help and blah blah. Oh, I know so and so. Yeah, I used to live in such and such place, and oh, you just give me your resume. Yeah, I'll try to set up something for you. This job, blah blah blah, blah something. And I said, wow, she's really nice. Because I didn't ask her, and it was in a group setting, so she sounds like the nice uh, counselor. And so that I get the information right soon after. The session was over, the group session is over, and I go to get the information to hand to her because she just said publicly, "Hey, do you need any help?" And oh, give me your such and such, and I'm gonna pass it up, blah 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 blah. So I see her, and she was going up the stairs. So I say, "Hey, so and so, I got the stuff." And then she looks at me, glares at me, and yells at me, "Do it yourself," and storms up. I was dumbfounded. I should have reported her. And what I learned is that human nature for some people, they want to be seen publicly as one thing, as oh, I love people and oh, I help everybody. Oh, if you need any help. See, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. And that you could say things publicly, but it's what's going on behind the scenes. They actually could be the one that approached you. You didn't approach them. And again, especially back then, I was very shy. And yeah, very shy, withdrawn. I didn't really talk. And so for somebody like that, and again, you're coming out of a violent situation, and many of these people here are the women. It was a women's shelter. They're for various reasons, and some of them domestic violence. And so you know that these women are hurting, and then you verbally attack them. It's horrendous. And other things too that I won't even get into. But you have people who are really who like to work in certain industries. They go in see it's the generate this new generation. You have people who are self promoters. Now nothing wrong of wanting the best for yourself, but they don't care about human beings, and they're not people of the heart. But they're in an industry that will be beneficial if you're heart centered, especially you're working with people who are abused in some form, but they want people to like them in public, a persona, but they really hate people, or they want to be their own movie star. Okay, they give unsolicited advice, or you know they might say, oh, I know so and so. So they like to name drop that they know certain people, or they've been certain places. You know what I'm getting at. So with that habit, so with that past history of mine, and then this young PT instructor, in essence, is saying, this is not a schedule, such and such. So you don't have any right to ask me anything else. Even though just 15 minutes prior, you say repeatedly, hey, just come over and, if I can help you with something. I wasn't asking him for a session, just information, which machine to use for this, because now I'm working on such and such. Because I was working by myself. The anger, and it just kept on like a loop running in my head, and I would try to tell myself, So don't think about him. Get in your own zone, you know. Get in your own zone. Stay focused. So what I'm learning is in any journey, you're going to have bumps on the road. You're going to have people who want you to think that there's something, but they're not that. And I think sometimes, something might upset you, but sometimes you let some moments pass because, you don't want to do things uh, out of your emotions because sometimes it's just, just let it blow. I'm new here, at the club, and I don't want to get a reputation. But I am a paying client, and I rather, because I remember how the person who signed me up, that they want to really like, I got the impression when he said that they want to screen out that you have many people who want to work for them, but they really want to make sure they get the right people. So, what do you guys think? You think I should report him? Yeah, I was so embarrassed. He embarrassed me publicly with these people. I think I just might report him. Yeah, I mean, my sessions, my working by myself, it came out, it went very, very well. Yeah, I stayed let's say I got there to around 12:30, and I left at it was 5 o'clock. Yeah, so that's 4.5 hours. I had a great time. I think I understand the patterns of how to work the different stations, like how it went yesterday. Like when I saw that the older PT guy, like he has you do like work on one thing, like a set of um, like 10 or 15 or 20, whatever. And after that, go on the treadmill and walk it, just a couple, maybe 2, 3 minutes, and then race and do the other series. He said, you want to keep your metabolism up. He said, that's why I have you do this. So I learned that you want to keep that momentum going. And I guess that maybe it might be like a cool down or something. I don't know. But either way, I like that approach because it's continuing having my motor running, and then you continue. So I think I might just do that. But it does that my doing that though didn't make my stay longer. That's what, yeah, because I sometimes I was at the machine, the treadmill for 10 minutes. So you add that up, it's going to take a while. So I initially started like maybe a 20 second, you know, inactivity, and then could continue with my workout. Yeah. Yeah. Let me also tell you, like even before I got to the club yesterday, I was greatly motivated by this video. I watched a video with Arnold Swartzenegger. I mean, there were recent, relatively recent controversies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very controversial. So I wasn't much of a fan of his after hearing it. But watching this video, he was being interviewed by a younger guy. The guy looked like, his early 30s, late 20s. He was slim, and he's interviewing Arnold Schwarzenegger. And why I liked it, it was like a reversal. Like Arnold was, the star of, in the weightlifting world, bodybuilding world. He's done television. He was a governor, all these things. But he shared a lot about himself. He shared about that he was, um, he started out at 16 years of age in his country, and how his first session there, he joined a weightlifting club, and he was the youngest there. And so it's really showing he had a genesis, and he had his insecurity. He talked about his how he how he learned about public speaking, because there were people that mentored him. You know, there's someone, some famous weightlifter, and he Arnold had approached him and says, "Wow, I'm really impressed that you could speak to an audience and blah blah blah." And yeah, and so I think he said, I would love one day to be able to do what you're doing, because I can't speak. Well, guess what? The guy, the guy had to was to go on stage and talk to the audience. So then he invites Arnold on stage. He was just a kid. He was 19 years old by this time. Yeah, because Arnold was developing very quickly, his muscles and everything. And so he, the people in his circle, Arnold's circle in the, weightlifting, were all encouraging to say, hey, you're really getting big. Hey, you should get into this and that. You really have the potential to win these awards and stuff. So he taught about how when people talk to you, how they could, motivate you to do things, and it nurtured him. It gave him the courage, because evidently, honestly, I didn't have any courage for anything really, and they had to teach me different things, say things, and encourage me to get to the next level. So I appreciate that for Arnold to be honest about his humble beginnings. Yeah, Arnold was real humble, and when he came to the U.S. to live, he worked in construction. He worked in he was taking, he was going to school. He said, and then he also, I think he said he was taking acting lessons also. Yeah, so one of the things Arnold talked about was um, having a vision. Have a vision in mind, and then pursue it. And he talked about his, being organized. Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic. It motivated me so much yesterday. Yeah, I woke up and I played it. So in this new journey of mine, I want to really limit what type of videos I watch, and I want to watch about these. I've been watching a series for the past maybe 4 days now, 5 days. I've been watching things on bodybuilding, women bodybuilding, um, men's bodybuilding, and I after listening to Arnold and some of the other videos, I learned that there's what you call the bodybuilders, those women that get really big, and then they have this thing called like bikini something. They 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 would lift weights, but they wear these sexy bikinis, and so they're not big like those other people, you know. So they kind of look like, so they still look like women. I'm wondering that should, should I go into that? I feel, I feel if I discipline myself enough that I too can do that. Yeah. And you know what else? I just saw a video last night, just before I went to bed on YouTube. This woman, she started out slim, became a mother, and she had a very troubled childhood. She had to leave. She was thrown out of her house at 14. The father was physically abusive to her. She was in the street, and then she had an opportunity to get out of the street and met a wonderful guy, got married. And so by the time she was pregnant with her second kid, she was really big. And she shows her journey to physical fitness. And they showed over she lost weight. It took 9 months. She didn't work out at the gym. She worked out at home. She had these, I think you call it free weights, dumbbells, that you hold in your hand. And she demonstrated what she did, excuse me, her arms and everything. And she had a treadmill at home. And initially, she had weight gain and everything. And it was like really difficult for her. But eventually, it started coming together. Well, this girl also, she went in her first competition. Her dream, she said in the documentary, was to walk on the stage, beauty, the beauty pageant or something like that. And she lives in Australia, and she reached her goal. So for a heavyset person, stretch marks and all, this girl, Lord, um, I wish I knew the metric system. And she gave her weight in the metrics. And this girl was skinny. In fact, I thought she was underweight. I never, I mean, she was toned. She was, but in my opinion, she was underweight. But either way, my whole point is that here I'm not even overweight, and I'm not even pregnant. So here you had a big pregnant. Yeah, she was like 7 months pregnant, and then she had a late what do you call it? She had a late like her baby was due by 9 months, but the babies didn't want to come out, so they had to induce her labor, and then she had pre-eclampsia, means high blood pressure, and it could get really dangerous for the mommy. But yeah, so she had a lot of obstacles. So she had a pregnancy, overweight, and she did it. She attacked her dream, and I'm not sure where she placed in it, but wow, you would never know that 9 months prior that she had a baby and all that. Yeah, so it took discipline. So what I'm saying, in short, that if that lady could do it and get into a competition, I could do it too. So I think I'm going to have those two videos playing, the Arnold video and this lady's video, to encourage me to continue doing my workout. And yes, in life, you're going to have the bumps on the road. You're going to have people who act like jerks in the gym, and you're going to have people who are going to not intentionally distract you to pull you off your path, such as the boxer. I'm not interested in boxing right now, and I'm not interested in getting my hand hurt, and it's not my goal. So what I've learned from this experience is to be goal oriented, and when people, even though they might be smiling in your face and say, hey, you should try such and such, if it doesn't fit into your personal plan, just politely say, no, thank you, not at this time. Okay? So, yeah, I want to document these little um, milestones in my life, these things that are happening to me in my personal journey. Yes. So this part of this personal, this spiritual journey has to do with my health. So I thank you guys for this wonderful opportunity to share you uh, my progress, what's going on out there. Maybe in the future, if I'm able to set up my camera to show what my body looks like. Right now, it is what it is. But I did take some pictures. So we'll see. Maybe I should start doing these little videos in the gym, and have someone hold the camera and just kind of show it, because yeah, so they hold the camera, and I like show what my body looks like, you know, as a series of my progress. Okay, and also I'm going to keep a logbook also of what I'm doing and everything. Yeah. So thank you for listening if you got this far in the video, and take care and enjoy your day. Bye bye.